Welcome back, my friend. It is good to see you well. And I trust your journey once again was safe? We can never be too careful these days. It seems all the world is falling into chaos. Rebellions in Ralter, undead in the Celtian Union, and now riots in Jond? Good news is growing scarce. But forgive me. You didn't come here to hear me rattle on about world events. So please, get comfortable as I share another tale from my library. This one I call Phantasmal Pirates. The seas and oceans of Phantasmal have always been dangerous, but never more so than around the coast of the Darklands. The kingdom is a region of black swamps and great iron towers upon foggy hills. They are home to the Black Knights, marauding thief guilds, and pirate fleets. The pirates of the Darklands prove to be the most dangerous, however, as they target the merchant sea lanes exiting from Jond and heading to the continent of the Dayukavine. They have always been a struggle to suppress, but even they are now what sailors fear the most in these waters. For even the pirates know there are things far worse to fear. For every once in a while, the skies grow dark. A thunderclap is heard on the horizon. The winds whip, and the sea froths with rage, and it is then the phantom pirates come to play. Ghosts of the sea, cursed and undead, they forever sail the stormy skies of the afterlife. Believed to be the most violent and vile of pirates in life, they now serve the great pirate goddess Brandibos in death. She is the ancient mariner who charted both the first seas and ethereal currents of the stars, and it is her fleet of phantoms that crash through the cloud tops, looking for adventurers and merchant ships to attack, adding to Brandibos's growing treasure. This is a short pirate encounter, or mini side quest for those who are journeying across the ocean, and not expected to be a main adventure in itself. As your players journey to their next destination across the ocean, their first encounter with the pirates will be a growing storm on the horizon. It follows their ship over the course of hours or days. With every flash of lightning, sailors report seeing a pirate ship with black tattered sails that ride the clouds like ocean waves. You can of course have players roll a check to see if they can spot the sails for themselves, leaving an aura of foreboding. If the players decide to enter the storm to investigate further, the winds buffet them back, making it nearly impossible to reach the ship. However, if you feel the players should be able to enter the storm, feel free to skip the first attack encounter and move on to the ship deck encounter instead. If the players decide to not enter the storm and instead wait, the ship will eventually sail out from the storm and attack the player's vessel. The players can attempt to outsail the ship at this point, or fire spells and weapons at the vessel to remove several pirates before combat begins. If you wish to make the encounter harder, feel free to have attacks pass right through the hull, like a ghostly apparition. Eventually, when the ship reaches only a few meters above the player's deck, ropes sling over the side, and skeleton pirates slide down. The skeletons have the stats of undead, but can have added hit dice or class levels for more challenge. Most of the pirates are armed with clubs, swords, and axes, but a few can be given special attacks. Anchors. A small anchor the size of a rock hooked to a chain. The skeleton swings this weapon overhead and throws it at the player. If the player is hit, they must roll a save or become anchored to the ground as if under the effects of a hold spell. rolling a save every round to escape. Peg leg flails. A spiked ball and chain attached to an iron peg leg. The skeleton kicks the spiked ball into a player's face, dealing flail damage, plus strength or any magical bonuses. It can also deal 1 point of con damage to represent the player's body being crushed by a giant iron ball. Hooks. A large 30cm serrated rusty hook attached to the stump of a skeleton's arm. If a player is hit by a hook, they suffer d6 damage, plus strength and magical modifiers, as well as taking 2 damage a round from bleeding, for around d6 rounds, only prevented by bandaging or healing spells. After the battle, the ropes can be climbed up to board the ship. The bodies and weapons can turn to dust once the skeletons are destroyed, if you do not want the players to have the magical weapons, or they can remain as part of the player's treasure rewards. Ship deck. The deck is typical of a galleon, except the floor is covered in oil and pitch. One hatch in the center of the ship leads below deck, and a door near the back of the ship leads to the captain's quarters. Near the back of the ship is the ship's wheel, locked into place with a rusty iron chain. A 3-meter plank extends outward from the center of the deck over the air. A monkey can be seen with a key around its neck, sitting atop the crow's nest. A. Once the players all board the ship, it begins to move, flying into the storm, heaving side to side as the wheel bangs against the chain. The thick rolling clouds pound against the side of the ship like ocean waves, and a heavy rain pours over the deck. While the ship is out of control, each player loses d6 dex as they try to keep their footing on the deck. The loss represents the player's focus on keeping stable, rather than rolling a check each round. This effect is similar to riding or tying a knot in a moving vehicle should a player argue their case. This loss of dex will affect the player's armor class, climbing rolls, lockpicking, and any dex-based abilities or skills. Every 10 minutes the player is unable to take control of the ship. They lose another point of dex as the ship moves around ever more out of control. Once any player reaches 0, they must roll a save each round or fall off the ship, unless of course they are strapped in or held by other players. The players will regain full dexterity the moment they are on stable ground. B. Any player attempting to catch the monkey must first roll a climb check to reach the crow's nest. Once in arm's reach of the monkey, the player monkey will have a dex roll-off. If the player does not win, the monkey leaps away and climbs higher or dodges. If the player wins the roll-off, they can make one attempt to grab the monkey or the key with an attack roll. Each round the player is on the rigging, they must roll a climb check to keep from falling off, regardless of moving or not. This represents the player being tossed about by the storm, or their further attempts at trying to hold on while chasing the monkey. The key around the monkey unlocks the chain to the ship's wheel. The monkey stats can come right out of the monstrous manual, or be increased for added difficulty. C. The door to the captain's quarters is locked, but can be picked or brute forced to open. The door is trapped, and once opened, a clay pot of Greek fire falls to the floor from the other side, igniting the entire deck in flames. This effect lasts X rounds till the rain puts out the fire at your discretion. Any player on the deck receives d6 fire damage a round till the fires are extinguished. The fire does not burn the wood or sails, as they are both technically ghostly and unaffected. D. The hatch to below deck is magically sealed and can only be opened with the captain's key. E. The ship's wheel is locked into place with a magical rusty chain bolted to the deck that cannot be broken by normal means. If a player insists on breaking the chain, give the chain considerable hit points, and describe their first few attempts at breaking it as leaving only dings and dents. Once the chain is removed, any player can take the wheel and regain control of the ship by rolling a dex or skill-related check. If they succeed, the ship no longer heaves violently, and the players regain control of their full dex. The wheel will not let players descend or ascend. In order to go back to the ground or leave the storm, the players must first fight the captain. F. Any player who walks the plank and jumps off gains flying, as per the spell, for X rounds. This spell only affects each player once and can be used to leave the storm. Any player who is flying regains full dex, as they are now unaffected by the ship's movements. Captain's Quarters. A shelf of books stand near a large wooden table of charts, navigation equipment, and one empty bottle. Near the edge of the table is a globe of Phantasmal, with a red parrot perched on top. Near the back corner is a simple bed and chest. A. The shelf of books contains stories of pirates and tales of the four oceans of Phantasmal, the Merchant Sea, the Starlit Sea, the Dark Water Ocean, and the Elva Waters. These books can be worth a few coins, or nothing at all. B. The charts on the table consist of several ocean maps and a few X's dotting some islands. The X's can represent places of buried treasure, dungeons or ruins, luring the players to their next adventure. If any player with navigation or magic charts a course using the ink and quill pen, the paper burns away and a scroll of the player's choice will be revealed. The scrolls were disguised as maps and the ink used for scribing spells. So when a player charted a course, they unknowingly created a spell by mistake. C. The chest is locked and needs to be picked or brute forced to open. The chest is trapped with a poison needle dealing stat damage. It is also empty and a red herring. D. If the globe is broken, the players will find a silver key inside. The key is a trap and will explode as per the fireball spell if used on the hatch going below deck. It will ignite the deck if the oil has not already been lit. E. The parrot keeps repeating over and over, "The world only knows where the captain's key is hidden." If any player feeds the parrot a cracker, it transforms into a genie, and the empty bottle on the table transforms into a lamp. The genie's name is Arku, a war genie from Malkern and part of King Azabad's pirate fleet. He reasons the fleet must have been attacked by the phantom pirates while he slept in his bottle, as he remembers nothing else. The genie, in return for its freedom, will grant the party one minor wish before departing. After the wish is granted, the genie and the lamp disappear in a wink of white light. F. If the sextant is broken apart, it will reveal a small, slender brass key. This is the captain's key, and used to open the hatch leading to the lower deck. The Sky Kraken. Before the players can reach below deck, a giant kraken surfing the storm attacks the ship. It latches on to the bow and swings its tentacles, attacking the players. Instead of the players having to fight off an entire kraken, they should only do battle with the 8 to 12 tentacles. Each tentacle will have a set number of hit points in one attack. Each time a player is hit by an attack, it deals 2d8 damage and requires one roll on the chart below. 1 to 50, nothing happens. 51 to 75, the player gets caught on one of the tentacle suckers. Next round, while the player can still attack as normal, they are automatically hit as if they are pounded against the boat. The player must then roll on the chart again and add 10 to the result. If the player rolls below 40, it is assumed they have fallen off the sucker and can act as normal next round. 76 to 95. The player is caught in the tentacle suckers and tossed overboard. A player can roll a climb check to hang on to the tentacle, but it is auto-hit next round and adds 20 to their next roll on the chart. 96 to 100. The player is caught in the tentacle suckers and eaten whole. The player can either die outright or suffer 2d6 damage each round from being digested as they attempt to fight their way out. It will require 20 to 50 damage or so by the players to free themselves from the Kraken's guts. Once a sufficient number of tentacles has been dealt with, the Sky Kraken will release the ship and fly away. Below deck. The hatch opens to a set of wooden stairs leading into a hall. The players are assaulted with the smell of mead, sweat, and powder. Cannon Hall. At the foot of the ramp is a long hallway. As the players walk the corridor, sounds of cannon fire and yelling come from beyond the walls. There's 2 doors at the end. A. This door opens to a small chamber thick with smoke. A cannon peeks through the haze, and the sound of a burning fuse goes off. Any player standing in front of the door must roll a save or be hit by the cannon blast for XD10 damage and lose X points of con as their body is crushed by a cannonball. The constitution can be restored with rest or healing. The room is only large enough for the cannon and contains no visible way for it to be loaded and fired. B. This door leads to the crew quarters. C. This is a ramp leading to the top decks. Crew quarters. Several glowing pirate phantoms laugh and drink while playing music and rolling dice. They are sitting on several sacks of potatoes, near a few barrels of mead. A. The pirates will be friendly and insist the players share a drink and play some dice. They share tales of time aboard the ship and have grown quite fond of the raiding. They agree to not fight the players if they can beat them at their games. Game 1. The players must win a game of dice against the pirates. Each player must put in 100 gold, then roll an intelligence or gaming-related skill check each round at a challenge of 2, with the challenge rising by 2 each round. Failing a check results in the loss of 1d4 times 10 gold. Any player who loses all their gold will be out of the game. The pirates will count as having a skill or intelligence of 10 regardless of their monster type. If any player wins the game, the party as a whole is considered to have won and can split the winnings as they choose. Game 2. The players must outdrink the pirates. Each round, players roll a constitution check at a challenge of 2, with the challenge rising by 2 each following round. Failing a check results in the loss of d6 con. Any player who reaches 0 will pass out and be out of the game. The pirates will also roll as if they have a constitution of 10, regardless of their monster type, and will also be out of the game once reaching 0. If any player outlasts all the pirates, the party as a whole is considered to have won. If the players fail or refuse to play these games, the pirates will fight and may be given wraith stats to reflect their more powerful undead nature. If the players can win both challenges, the pirates fade, likely from passing out due to Game 2, and the players can pass. B. This door leads to the storeroom. C. This door leads back to the cannon hall. Storeroom. The door opens to a chamber of chests overflowing with gold coins, jewelry, and magic weapons. Upon a throne sits an ethereal pirate captain with a red tattered coat and thick black beard. A. The captain greets the players with idle chit-chat, sharing tales of plunder and conquest. The captain has no intention of attacking the players, noting their strength of surviving this far, and even offers to land the ship. If the players leave, they let a villain escape, and suffer all the consequences that implies, along with losing all the storeroom treasure. If they attack, the captain has the stats of a wraith, with added class levels for increased challenge. B. Stores of treasure that can be entirely real or fool's gold. Tailor it as you need for your player's level. C. This door leads to the crew quarters. Once the captain dies, the ship begins to crumble. The ship may land before it is completely gone, or break apart into dust while still in the storm, leaving the players to figure out how to get down. With the pirates defeated, the adventure is over. Or is it? Maybe the ship crashes to the ground and the spirits of the pirates are released to now raid the land. Maybe one of the players becomes the captain and the party is cursed to be its undead crew till they find a cure. Maybe the ship returns home to some far-off place before turning to dust, leaving the players stranded in some new land. And that once again concludes our little story for today, traveler. I hope you enjoyed my tale, and return again to hear more adventures of Patharis. Now, go get some rest, enjoy the evening, and I hope to see you again very soon.